Good evening, everyone, and Happy New Year to all of you. Welcome to Willard School's Winter Band Concert. We are very happy to have you join us tonight. Tonight's program will feature our 4th and 5th grade bands who have been working so very hard to bring you this program. So without further ado, here's Mr. Chef Leone and our 4th grade band.
Good evening, Willard friends and family. For those of you who don't know, my name is Rob Chef Leone. Your students know me better as Mr. Chef. And I've had the pleasure of coming in here as the band director and music teacher here at Willard School. And I'm so excited to have the winter concert with these fine young musicians. They were so ready to go in December, and they were just as prepared the second time around. So they're really rock stars at that. So what you just heard was a song called Closet Key, and it's one of the first songs we learned here in 4th grade. So these students here did not even know how to put their instruments together or hold their instruments about 5 months ago. And since then, they have learned about the first 5 to 6 notes on their instruments, along with a few songs. They've also learned some band performance etiquette skills as well. For example, posture. So, Dan, why don't you just relax? There you go. Posture, people.
Posture, people.
They've also learned proper technique with holding their instrument. So right now you see them in rest position. Play position. And now they're ready to go. Rest position. So they have come such a long way in terms of learning how to be performers in the ensemble, as well as technical aspects on their instruments. So the next song we have is another one of our first songs called Peas Porridge Hot. And once again, as a music teacher, I am so impressed with the tone quality and the amazing sounds they're making as such young musicians in 4th grade. So, a little bit about each instrument. All of these instruments here work together as a team to make a sound on the stage. And that's what they're learning, is how to be a team here on stage. So first, we have our amazing flute section here. We're going to show you a little bit of what the flute sounds like. Next in our woodwind family, we have our lovely clarinets here. Continuing in our woodwind family, we have our saxophone section. Next up, we're going to start introducing some of our brass family. Next up, we have one of my favorites, and I don't know if you can tell by my tie, the trumpet section. One of the challenging things about playing a brass instrument is with a woodwind instrument, there's a lot more keys to push down. So you have to do more technical work with your fingers. But with trumpet and baritone and trombone and tuba, you do a lot more of the movement with your embouchure, with our formation of our lips. So they've been really doing a great job developing their embouchures. Let's hear it one more time for our trumpet section. Next up, we have our low brass section, which consists of our baritones and trombones. Thank you so much, low brass. That sounded great. And last but not least, we have our percussion family, consisting of snare drum, bass drum, cowbell, auxiliary percussion. In the first stages of learning percussion, they spend a majority of their time on the snare drum and the bass drum. So thank you all so much for coming out here and constantly supporting your children in the arts here at Willard School. I know that both me and Mrs. Gemmel truly appreciate your constant support. We're going to finish our fourth grade band portion of the concert with one of our all-time favorites, a beginning band classic, Hot Cross Buns. Once they are finished playing and they exit the stage, fourth grade will be dismissed. They're going to go and put their instruments away, and then they can meet families and be dismissed. So thank you again for coming out. Here's Hot Cross Buns.
everyone. We just heard a great performance by our fourth graders, and now we get to hear our fifth graders. And again, they have worked so hard with Mr. Chef Leone to prepare for our program tonight. So here is Mr. Chef Leone and our fifth grade band.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Good evening once again, and welcome to our fifth grade band portion of our winter band concert. I'm so proud and excited to introduce these fine young musicians in the fifth grade. They've been playing their instruments for about a year and a half, and they've come so far since I've been with them in the spring. What you just heard was called Power Rock, which is a fun Queen medley consisting of We Will Rock You and Another One Bites the Dust. This was arranged by Michael Sweeney. Next up, you'll hear African Folk Trilogy by Anne McGinty. This is a fun song featuring different themes from African culture being played at different times on different instruments. So, hope you enjoy African Folk Trilogy. Willard trilogy. Let's have one more round of applause for our Pittsburgh band. Now, before we do our last song, there are so many people here who have helped make this possible that I must acknowledge and thank. So, first and foremost, I could not have made this happen without the tremendous support of all of our Willard staff. So let's give a round of applause to our teachers, custodial staff, administrative staff. A huge, huge thank you to our 4th and 5th grade teams who have been here to chaperone for us morning and night, who have been flexible with extra lessons, extra rehearsals, making sure that they are prepared so that they can be their absolute best. Let's have a round of applause for them. A huge thank you to our administrators, Mrs. Sorois and Mrs. Daypray, for their constant support of the arts here at Willard and in Berlin Public Schools. I'd like to especially thank my elementary music teacher colleagues, Mrs. Shelby Ryan from Hubbard and Miss Allison Wilson from Griswold, who have joined me here tonight to help me out. Thank you very much. Many thanks to Mr. Tyler Boyle and the Berlin Music Department for their constant support of me and the music program here at Willard, as well as all the other schools. Huge thank you to the administrative assistants, Mrs. Mahalik and Mrs. Costa in the front office. They have done so much behind the scenes with scheduling, calling students, getting the programs ready, and they have been so helpful. So, round of applause for them. And last but not least, a huge thank you to our custodial staff for getting everything set up here, the chairs, the stage, everything to help us get ready. And then I just have one more, I promise. A huge thank you to Mr. Nick Smith for recording this professionally, so we will all have a copy of the concert to watch. Please keep a close eye on your email. You will be seeing that from me within the next week or two. So to conclude our concert, we had originally planned for something that will complement the holiday season, and it is so much fun to play that we thought we would still play it for you today. So here is the classic Jingle Bells.
So let's hear it one more time for our 5th grade band. What a great performance. We are so proud of them. And again, we are so very fortunate to have 2 very talented and dedicated music educators here, Mr. Sheffioni and Mrs. Gamble. So one final round of applause for them as well. Thank you for coming. We're so very happy that you could join us tonight. We look forward to seeing you again in the spring. Take care and be well.